Hi guys, welcome to Astrodesign. I'm Lily. In this video, I'm going to talk about the full moon that is going to happen on the 20th of September in about midnight at 28 degrees of the Pisces sign. Before I begin, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and please put a thumbs up in recognition to my efforts. Thanks. Let's begin. So, a full moon is the brightest point of the moon in the sky and therefore a record time for something you have done in the last months, as well as time to see things as they are through the light of the moon. Now we have a chance to get rid of things that have not worked since the last month and close the cycle. A full moon calls us to finish things we have discovered that no longer contribute us. During the full moon, the emotional world is very powerful and anything can go out of proportion, so take that into account. On the other hand, it is a huge boost to action and goal achievement, a record time of something we have done so far for better or worse. A full moon contributes to a sense of enlightenment, helping us to see situations and outcomes. Hidden information as well can come up. This is not the time to start something new, but to bring to the climax something we have done so far. So in these videos, I will describe the position of the moon using human design GENEKEYS. First of all, I will tell you what the challenges are in this specific position and how they can be overcome. Through the location of the moon in houses, in the astrological houses, you will know how to diagnose which area of your life will be affected. It's important to check if this moon forms important aspects with the planets in your birth chart, because if it does, you will feel it much more strongly. In this video, I'm only talking about human design and houses. So if you'd like to know more exactly how this will affect you, I invite you to consult me in private. The contact details are below the video. At the 20th of September, moon is going to stay at the energy 36.6, the energy of crisis and chaos. It's expressed as a collective emotional vertex. It comes from an emotional center and it has a very powerful emotional wave that can be expressed in action because of the access directly to manifestation through the center of the throat. But like any emotional energy, it moves in waves and has no clarity in the here and now. But it does not wait for this clarity. And because of the immaturity and inexperience inherent in this energy, combined with the pursuit of emotional and sexual experiences, it leads to crisis. It is an energy that initiates the fantasies that are in gate 41. Both are in the experiential and passionate emotional stream. Genetically, there is an urge here that encourages people to break through the limitations of experience. That is to experiment with a lot of new stuff in life. There are a lot of emotional anxieties here in our lives, especially in the marital realm and relationship, because this is a very unreliable energy. What usually happens is that what you cannot get from one source, you will be looking for from another source. This is the classic story of someone who is full of passion and wanting. They go looking for their lover and their lover is not at home. So they find another one at the bar. It's not personal, it's genetics. It's just living the experience as it is. If there is no one there for this experience, there will be someone else. That is why a crisis is so common in this energy. It just constantly jumps from one experience to another. Our personal front, the relationships and marriage, is where it throws the most distraction. There are all kinds of sexual lust here. It's just an expression of a low frequency of evolutionary desire to break through another barrier of experience. Low frequency causes us to pursue sexual life pleasures, primarily to make life more supposedly interesting. Passion itself is not negative in any way, but it becomes evil in the light of human morality. It can be resolved in purity and sincerity, through open-hearted communication and innocence. This energy attracts people to the unknown, a dark horizon that they have not experienced before, and therefore this energy tends to attract a crisis like a magnet. Ultimately, the issue here is to release. Releasing an impulse for new experiences, releasing a need to experience something new all the time. Because this is full moon, all the issues I have described, one must learn to release them from their lives. Of course, depending on the astrological house where it happens to you. So what is the meaning of the sixth line of the 36th gate? Like any sixth line, there is a desire here to advance to the next gate, to close the cycle and behave like the next gate. The name of the line is justice. Gate 36 is related to over expectations. There is a feeling that if I experience this, then I will get this or that result. But this is not true in practice, because expectation leads to frustration. Six lines are always looking for something else, something ideal that does not exist in reality. This is the line that wants far beyond amazing experience. If this is not something out of the ordinary, then line 6 will not want it. Hence, there can be depression here, because finding something ideal takes a lifetime and sometimes an eternity that we do not have in practice. Therefore, this line does not actually refer to a crisis on the one hand, because it does not pursue experiences all the time, but the crisis exists within them because the expectations of an extraordinary experience does not come true and does not release them. Line 6 in the end is the end of the whole hexagram and is followed by the beginning of a new hexagram. Hence, it is time to release crises from the past, to release desires and needs that have not led to progressing or gaining effective experience for you. Otherwise, you will not be able to move on. Astrologically, Moon in Pisces is very sensitive and discerning regarding its environment. It has irrational fears and anxieties, passiveness, imagination, and developed spiritual world. All this is amplified because of the proximity and conjunction with Neptune in the full moon map. For some people, mystical abilities are on the rise. For the rest of the world, illusions and hallucinations will overcome. The map, the astrological map of this event is not so positive. Mars faces the moon and gives it a boost of negative energy that intensifies the mood swings and aggression and nervousness as a result. Every little thing can go out of proportion and annoy us. There is a tendency here to interpret reality according to our mind and make reckless and dangerous decisions for our body. It uplifts the urge to release emotions and blame issues. Relationships with our spouse, mother, and close friends can suffer the most. It is important to release this energy in a creative rather than selfish and aggressive way. There is a huge urge to fulfill your desires, but the more selfish the goal, the more crisis and failure you will experience. Only consideration for the needs of others can lead to a positive experience and outcomes. It may be for some people they will be a punching bag for others. Our luck that Saturn looks at Mars from a positive aspect and contributes to Mars's perseverance and calming his aggressive and hot spirit. Venus is also in a place of damage in the full moon map, both in Scorpio sign, a very hated sign for Venus, and also receives only negative aspects from powerful planets, such as Saturn, that suppresses her and her values, and Uranus that looks at her within resistance and makes her want to do impulsive and wrong things. Scorpio is full of secrecy and darkness. Venus here can increase the chances of infidelity, manipulations with money, and the dissolution of relationships. Uranus only increases these issues and intensifies unnecessary waste of money, misconduct with your spouse, and your material / values world. Saturn causes Venus to not believe in herself, not to love herself, and it pushes Venus to look for it everywhere and from anybody without selectivity, all in order to receive positive reinforcement from others. Although it will never actually work, because reinforcement or love or self-esteem is always comes from within. Another positive side of this map is Mercury in harmonious aspect to Jupiter, which can at least add optimistic thoughts and good ideas to improve the entire universe socially and business-wise. Also, Mercury is also at an unpleasant aspect to Pluto, which would indicate media conflicts based on stubbornness and opinions rather than accepting the opinions of others and being open-minded. May we all have success with it. In any case, let's move on to the effect of the full moon in your astrological houses in the astrological birth chart. For those who have the full moon in their first house, for you it is very important to release desires and wishes related to your personal development, physical appearance, constant changes, and constant experience. It's time to stop initiating all the beginnings in your life just because you are bored or you feel inexperienced in some field. It does not lead to anything positive, just crisis. Release a desire for emotional satisfaction from others. There is a lot of creativity within you that is just waiting for expression. Use it to find all the diversity you are looking for from within. It is a peak time for some change in your appearance or your spiritual development. Accept it with love, learn from it, and understand that it will only contribute to you moving forward in life. Also, it's a record time for creative expression or a publication of a creative project or something related to your romance or children. The second house. For you, it is important to release desires and wishes related to your financial world, the family assets, and of course, the need to find appreciation from the outside. There may be a health crisis, so pay attention to your daily routine and your health habits. Your health can be unstable and any impulsive behavior can do harm, especially when it comes to diet and nutrition. Besides that, expectations regarding your employment situation can also be a little bit frustrating. It is important to release expectations and appreciation for the need for appreciation in your work settings. Maintain a more daily routine and release harmful habits. It's a record time for job changes, conflicts over family assets, and money. The third house, for you, it is important to pay attention to your desires in the field of relationship and marriage, as well as business with others, such as business partners and your customers. There may be a crisis in the marriage because of aggressive communication or communication in general, even online. You may be flirting too much with others online, and this will bother your spouse. There may be a crisis with your siblings or neighbors or your immediate surroundings. It's time to see what is bothering you in a relationship with others and release those aspects, especially if it's related to expectations. Do not accept your siblings to support your experiences or the immediate environment to accept the communication chaos that sometimes you create. You should also pay attention to short-term trips. There can be crises there. It is best to direct this energy toward to writing and developing your skills, especially hand skills. It's a record time for increased communication with clients or siblings, and can also be short trips related to your work with other people. The third house. Something sudden can happen within your home, either with your mother or the members of the household or in the home itself. In advance, you should pay attention to what can be released in your home. There may be objects that you can donate to others or something that does not work that needs repair. If you do not do this and don't pay attention to that, the full moon will bring about this release by force and it will feel like a crisis to you. In addition, there are issues of emotions that are very unstable now and also issues of control. It is important to learn to release control of the mind over your emotional world, to live more in accordance with the basis of your true nature. It's a record time to research in the about underlying issues, whether it is your home or the emotional world, to understand where there are issues and what to release and what to take care of. The fifth house. The fifth house. For you, something related to financial investments can come to a climax, relationship with your children or something according to your children, about them, issues of romance, travel abroad, and the emotional satisfaction and your creative side. One or more of these issues can have too many expectations in your life, and this leads to disappointment that compromises as an internal crisis, preventing you from moving forward in your life. Do not look for the ideal partner abroad. Do not look for emotional satisfaction from others. The way out of the sense of crisis is to engage in something creative that contributes to your enjoyment and satisfaction. It is not a good time to travel abroad where you may encounter a crisis. Changes can take place within the framework of studies, especially universities and higher education overall, in matters of luck and with strangers as well. It's a record time for experiences related to romance and pleasure, and for studies as well. The sixth house. For you, changes in employment, career, future goals, health issues, and daily routine are expected. A full moon in the sixth house that represent by itself a crisis can double the effect of this energy and crisis for you this time, which indicates dismissals or unpleasant changes at work. It may be problems with authority figures at work and also with colleagues. Instability with future goals and nervousness that can lead to a decline in the immune system and acute illness. So watch out for that. In order to overcome this negative energy a bit, I recommend that you improve your daily routine, pay more attention to having a routine overall, and something good that is repeated each day. It will help you not to distress and be more focused. In addition, it is important to focus on one goal that is important to you and release expectations or desires related to it. It's a record time for changes in work and place of the work itself. There may be conflicts in the context of work, especially with women. It's a record time for debt repayment. The seventh house. For you, a crisis can come through your spouse or through your customers. The crisis will most likely be brought to you by other people, and you will not be the one who creates it. An internal crisis within you can only exist because of unfulfilled wishes and instability regarding the social issues and self-fulfillment through your business. It's time to release these wishes and the need to get recognition from your public or friends. Pay attention to who you bring to your life. Release the need to fulfill wishes through the spouse. Each one of us has its own fortune, and it is unfair to impose the responsibility of fulfilling these wishes on your spouse. You can share your experiences with relationships online, but do not expect too much to come out of it. It is important to release expectations from customers and in general from other people in your life. It's a record time for getting the money you deserve through courts or organizations, or realizing a wish through a crisis that was because of other people in your life. The eighth house. For you, learn to release expectations and desires on intimate issues. Issues of trauma, control, secrecy, and also assets and money shared with the spouse, and issues of inheritance. Something sudden may happen with money and you will be reluctant to repay taxes or a loan to the bank. There may be something sudden with your health, so pay attention more to that side and avoid, in order to avoid hospitalization. This is a good time to research how to release control of the mind and control of the mind over you. Isolation and reflection on the past can help avoid crisis and sudden loss. The ninth house. For you, it is important to release your desire for new experiences in the abroad scene and with new people. You can initiate too many changes that will make you feel unlucky in life because of the crisis they will bring to you. It is therefore important to learn that your personal development begins and ends from within. There is no need to travel abroad or meet people from a foreign culture in order to move forward in life. It is important to break free from ineffective beliefs and opinions that may hinder progress in your life. Pay attention to the crises in your relationships, or if you are single, on dates because you are restless and want something new and exceptional, and this can lead to problems in existing relationships or money issues for singles. You have an urge to initiate a new experience, but will the crisis be worth it? Think about it, feel it before jumping into it. 10th house. For you, money, career, future goals are the focus of the change. There may be surprising changes in your work or with authority figures, changes in your reputation due to money issues. This is a peak time for a career change or job assignments that will contribute, or vice versa, will harm your material world, and the whole basis will change accordingly. It is important to release expectations from authority figures or your future. Do not accept to be appreciated as part of the job. Appreciate yourself so you will not be disappointed. If your job is not ideal for you, there is a chance for change here. 11th house. For you, it is necessary to release desires for new experience with your friends or in your business. Release from expectations to fulfill material desires or to receive recognition from others. It is possible that your communication online or in social settings can lead to a crisis. There may be a crisis and changes with your siblings and the immediate environment. You may find that one of your friends is talking about you behind your back. And this will create a crisis between you. Remember that everything happens for the better, and sometimes it is better to release people than to get stuck with their negative energy in your life. The 12th house. For you, issues of ending, spiritual healing, behind the scenes things like your subconscious, secret enemies, one or more of these issues can reach a climax and crisis. It is important to release anxiety and treat your subconscious. It is the one that creates crisis in you, especially in the field of real estate, home, relationships with family members, and emotional issues. It's time to release expectations from the household, the people that you live with, more to connect to your spiritual side. Loneliness can now contribute greatly, and rising psychic abilities and intuition can rise as well. So do not deny it, use it, and listen to it. So for more interesting videos, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and do not forget to put a thumbs up if you like the video, and as a recognition for my efforts. Thank you all and take care. Bye-bye.